and talk about the curse. Let's see. Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Great. Yeah, of course. We both forgot, I think. Well, I forgot that it was it's the day after Thanksgiving. So I guess it is a day off for a lot of people as well. Do they do that? Take the day off, Friday off?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you and what did you do for Thanksgiving yesterday?
I went and picked up a Thanksgiving dinner from a restaurant, and then basically I just came home, sat in a teepee, and ate some sliced turkey.
Nice. You had the relatively easier option then of not worrying about cooking a turkey, just like going and collecting it.
Yeah, I had to cook a few things like the stuffing and the turkey. I had to warm up in like a bath of hot water.
And where are you? Remind me where you are.
Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. So you're on Eastern time in Atlanta. Yeah.
Yep.
Are you from, that's Atlanta, Georgia, yeah?
Yeah. I've been here since 1999. I'm from Pennsylvania originally.
Oh, you're from Pennsylvania. Where in Pennsylvania?
Way up at the top, right below New York State. That's a town called Mansfield, Pennsylvania.
What's the nearest big town to Mansfield?
Well, it's right below Corning, New York, if you're familiar with Corning ware, Corning glass. And it's right above Williamsport, Pennsylvania, where they hold the Little League World Series.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've been
so it's
around
about a half hour from each of those.
Okay, I've been around Pennsylvania quite a bit, but I haven't been there. So, yeah, good. So listen, I thought with the structure of our chat today, firstly, I'm assuming, did you watch episode 2?
I just started episode 3, in fact. Yeah, I've watched 1 and 2.
Oh, you got episode 3 already. Is it, if episode 3's out?
They come out on Fridays, I think, over here anyway.
Okay, I'll have to check when they're coming out, because I was actually in New York. I don't know if you saw at the weekend.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then I came back. So I'm a bit discombobulated. I'm slightly jet lagged, but I managed to watch episode 2 last night. And I just sort of thought what we'd do as a format was just talk for like 5 or 10 minutes about it, because I don't think anybody else has created a live chat show talking about the curse. So it's pretty niche and pretty individual.
I couldn't even find any online recaps, except there was one for the New York Times, but I'm not a subscriber, so I wasn't able to read it.
Did the Vulture do one, or am I confusing it with another?
I haven't found that one. If they have one,
yeah, we'll have a look afterwards. Yeah, but so we'll try and do this every week. I just think it's a different, interesting thing to do. So what I wanted to do, Jeff, was just to say, so I'm Paul, aka Super Dupers. What I wanted to do was I wrote down some like small points from episode 2 that I thought were of interest. And then I have some big points from episode 2. And then you can contribute with any points or anything you want to do. So I'll lead it a little bit. So one of the first things I noticed about episode 2 was to continue what I was saying about last week is the way this thing is shot, the way they have chosen to shoot it. And you get that almost like the camera is like so far back, like hidden or something. And there's that great scene at the beginning when Emma Stone is meeting one of the local indigenous people. We'll come back to them in a minute. But they choose to shoot it in like the worst place you could shoot it, like the middle of the highway on like what we call like a central reservation bit of the kind of freeway. And I just thought the way this program is shot, it just fascinates me.
Yeah, it's definitely made to seem like it's being filmed surreptitiously. Like,
yes, it is surreptitious. Have you seen, I think you mentioned that you'd known the Safdie brothers. Have you seen any other of the work by them?
I haven't seen their first movie, but I saw the last 2, Uncut Gems and I can't, was it the one with
Pattinson?
Yeah, Robert Pattinson and
Good Time.
Yeah.
I love that film. I actually preferred that to Uncut Gems. I just thought it was crazy. I'm the same as you. I haven't seen their first film either. But yes, they have this way of filming. I mean, there's only one Safdie brother is involved in this. I think they've got some sort of like, not an argument going on, or they haven't split, but I think they're just like working separately for a bit.
Yeah, they do projects separately, and I think Benny's more of the actor than Josh.
And we've got Benny is it in the curse?
Yeah.
So talking about Benny, another small point about Benny and his character. I mean, that's fascinating in episode 2 when he tells us the story of. I mean, my understanding was he was basically a drunk driver, and his wife died in a drunk driving accident.
Yeah.
But he's still drunk driving. He meets this person for a date. He goes out and he's still drunk driving. This guy is just like, he's pretty odious.
Yeah.
I love the detail of the rings that he's wearing. Did you notice that? I mean, that's just like such great. He's such a tacky, sleazy guy.
Yep. Rings on all 10 of his fingers.
Those garish rings. Yeah, I mean, that's hilarious. Thing, we'll leave that, but thing that I just thought was incredible in this episode, I mean, what these guys do is the kind of stress element, and Field has done it before in his stuff. So when he has to go to get the information off the computer, and what I'm calling the Gatorade pouring scene, and it's just so stressful, like you're just constantly watching it thinking, how's he going to do it? What's he going to do? How desperate is he going to be? And it was just so awkward. What did you make of that?
Yeah, you could tell he had to do something, and when he was like finally convinced the guy to go to his office, I was like, well, how's he gonna get him to leave the office? And then when he took the Gatorade out and opened it and set it right in front of the guy, I was like, oh, okay, this is it. And then it just went crazy from there.
It really went crazy. Now, my wife, before I come on to the big things, my wife has decided to leave the room of the curse. She stuck, I mean, we'd watch a lot of things together, and she stuck with me for number 2. But she's just like, I just find this too uncomfortable. That's her opinion. And do you think that it's going to divide people, or do you think it is dividing people? I mean, I find it very uncomfortable, but I find it compulsive. What do you think about what you're reacting to it and what you think people are reacting to it?
It's definitely uncomfortable, but that's like the Safdie brothers thing, and that's Nathan Fielder's thing. So these two together, it's going to be like the ultimate uncomfortable show of all time. Like more uncomfortable than watching The Office or any other show that I can think of. So I think it's meant to make you uncomfortable.
Do you think that's like a whole new genre or newish genre of TV? And actually, that's a really good point, you mentioning The Office, because that may have been like the birth of all of this.
Yeah.
But like in the last couple of years, we had, I mean, there's also like niche uncomfortable, like a niche uncomfortable genre is uncomfortable cooking shows. Like, I don't know if you've seen The Bear or are aware of that.
I have.
I actually found that too uncomfortable. That was like so stressful. I couldn't watch it.
I felt the same way. Having worked in restaurants like in high school and my late teens, it made me super, super uncomfortable. And the first few episodes, I was like, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm glad I stuck with it because it really paid off.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, The Bear was fantastic, and especially season 2, some of the best TV I've ever seen.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's super interesting, actually, because I stopped. But if somebody tells me, look, I persevered and it was like, I felt uncomfortable and it was one of the best things I've seen, because other people have said to me how much they liked it. Yeah. Now, my big points are a couple of points, really. The first one is I mentioned the meeting with the Indigenous leader at the beginning. And then, of course.
And that's Gary Farmer from, most recently, he was on Reservation Dogs.
Oh, I don't. What that guy?
That actor, yeah, Gary Farmer.
What's Reservation Dogs? I don't know what that is.
It's a show on Hulu about some Native American kids. It's only 2 seasons, but it's fantastic. It's directed by Taika Waititi, created by him.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh, that's completely passed me by, because we're big fans recently of Our Flag Means Death. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Yep.
And we're big fans of Rhys Darby, who works with Taika Waititi a bit, but I did not know about Reservation Dogs. What kind of like mood is Reservation Dogs? Because I associate him with like offbeat, wacky comedy.
Yeah, it's offbeat. It's sort of funny, but it's mostly just about their lives.
And is it like what length are the episodes? Are they like half an hour or are they an hour?
Yeah, they're half-hour episodes.
Okay. Reservation Dogs. Oh, that's great.
It just wrapped up, and there's not going to be any more. So the final season the final episode has already aired, so you could watch the whole thing probably in a day if you started it.
Wow. Okay.
Reservation Dogs. I recommend it highly.
Let us know in the chat. Sorry, we've been talking to each other and ignoring the chat. Let us know if anyone's watched Reservation Dogs or The Bear, or indeed broaden it out. You know, if anyone's got some good tips, because we're always looking for good tips. There's so much to watch that you can waste time watching bad stuff. But if you get like a good tip, and especially something that's a bit nichey or a bit different or a bit original, let us know if you're watching anything or if you've got any comments.
Fargo just started again.
I know.
Have you started watching that? Jennifer Jason Leigh, who was in the Safdie Brothers movie, is in this.
Yes.
The new season of Fargo.
And where are you watching that?
That is on FX, I think. In
and
America.
are they releasing that week by week, or have they
released 2 to start, and then it'll be week by week after that.
And have you watched it?
I have watched the first 2.
Was it good?
Yeah, very good. It's returned to form. It kind of dropped off in season 3 and 4.
Yeah,
but it was still good. But this is like back to season 1 good of Fargo.
Oh, and who's the talent? Because who was the guy who kind of like created it? I can't remember his name.
Noah Hawley.
Is he still involved?
Yeah, he's writing and directing all the episodes.
Okay, so you know there's a kind of like a standard of quality. And outside of Jennifer Jason Leigh, who else is in it?
John Hamm from Mad Men.
Oh, yeah.
Playing a bad guy this time.
Yeah.
Very good.
He's always good value.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yes. Okay, well, we'll watch that because that's definitely something we've watched before. I agree.
Dave Foley is also in it from The Kids in the Hall.
Okay. All right. Okay, very good. So we're talking about the actor that you mentioned who's in Reservation Dogs, the indigenous actor. And that's one of the big themes in the episode is this, like, I don't know how we describe it or how we even talk about it properly, but it's this like notion of like cultural appropriation, right?
Yeah.
Is that this is just my understanding. You might have a different understanding. I'm interested to hear what you think, right? That actor seems to like be slightly dissing the other indigenous actor for her artwork, who he thinks she might be playing them or being pretentious or just exploiting what she is in front of like the white savior type people.
Yeah.
But of course, the white savior type people are heroes or anti-heroes, really. Emma Stone and Nathan Fielder, they're like hook, line, and sinker. They're going into the TP and like hearing the screaming. And so I think it's like, I don't know what the comment is, but I think there are some interesting things going on that aren't really being talked about in other shows or elsewhere, and that are often quite difficult things to talk about because you could say the wrong thing or put your foot in the wrong place. What did you think about that whole concept, that theme?
Yeah, for sure. The artist was definitely pretentious, I thought, and she was doing like kind of her own indigenous Marina Abramovich encounter thing in the teepee. So she wasn't like exactly even original herself, but I find a lot of artists are like that anyway.
Yeah, I know. But if anyone's going to fall for it, it's the characters of Emma Stone, particularly Emma Stone and Nathan Fielder. I have to say that in this show, Emma Stone is such a standout for me. I mean, she's such a brilliant actress. She's in this new movie, which I haven't seen yet, which I don't think it's been officially released, Poor Things, which is coming out, she's going to be Oscar tipped. She might even win another Oscar, you know. I just think she is like an actress for the ages. She almost contorts her body into this other person, and she's so totally believable. And I mean, you know, Nathan Fielder is great, but he's not like an actor, you know, he's just getting on with it. And Safdie is kind of like, can play these particular roles, but she is just like knocking it out of the park. I mean, I think she's fantastic.
Yeah. I felt bad when she found out that her pregnancy wasn't going to go through.
Yeah. So my last question, and I'm just going to throw this one to you, Jeff, is what are they trying to do, right? Their characters. I was watching it last night and like thinking like, so they're doing this passive housing stuff. They're trying to help the local people. What are they really trying to do? What is the point of what they are trying to do? Because I'm not sure what it is.
I think their whole thing right now is to try and sell the show that they're doing, this reality show or home improvement show. I don't know exactly what it is, but it seems like they want to be kind of like on TV doing this show, and that's going to be their thing. And even the dad, Corbin Burnson, said, you know, you better sell this show. So I guess they're probably in a lot of financial trouble, or they need to make a lot of money. And this show is really the only hope that they have right now. So that's why he's so desperate to get the positive story from the reporter. And he's thinking, you know, if he can't get the positive story, then he wants to give her this casino story. So they'll run that instead, because he doesn't want to have any damaging stuff out there about her parents or any of that stuff. So they're able to sell the show.
Yes, I think that's succinctly put. In fact, let me just look something up. Yeah. The show itself was like, took a slight back seat in last night's well, I watched it last night in episode 2. But I'm keen to get back to that. And I'm also, it was like called something ridiculous, like flip mobility or something, or flipanthropy. Maybe it was flipanthropy. Like they're flipping and being charitable. So yeah, that's pretty funny. And I don't know. I mean, I wonder where. I mean, you just feel, Jeff. I just feel that where it's going to go is going to be. It's going to be some sort of disaster, because it's not going to go well. I mean, I can't see.
Well, it's called The Curse. And we know that he hasn't resolved the curse. He never found the girl to give her the money, but he has pretended that he has. So the curse is still ongoing. So I think it's going to be a rocky road for the rest of the season.
Yes, and it is kind of like watching it with your, you know, hands above your eyes in parts. Yes,
it definitely makes people uncomfortable, and I can see people not sticking with it. But I'm going to stick with it.
I'm sticking with it. I'm totally sticking with it. Are you getting any like vibes from people that you speak to in your life? Do you know anyone who's watching it, or are you seeing much chat about it online?
I have not seen a lot of chat about it online, and I've tried to get the rest of the hosts of my podcast to watch it, but nobody's watched it yet.
That's why I love doing shows like this. You know, that's why I think this is such a great thing to do. And I'm like tweeting at people who are like talking about it, who have a little bit of a following, because like if you're really into it, you're going to get into it and go, wow, these guys are talking about the curse. So and yes, to finish, the curse itself per se didn't show up too much last night, except I think it did in the end scene in the hospital. But we didn't find the girl. He didn't go back to the girl. But what I wanted to point out was that in let me just see. Yeah, in the first episode, I noticed that the character who plays the Curse Girl's dad, right, who you just saw in the distance, did you notice who that was?
Yeah, he was in the movie also, the second Safdie Brothers movie, and the guy from
Captain Phillips.
Yeah.
Which one was he in? Was he in what, Good Time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Barkhad Abdi, who himself is a pretty interesting story. I think came out of nowhere, got an Oscar nomination from Captain Phillips, but has maintained his career to a high or good level. I always remember him as being really memorable in Captain Phillips, actually. So he's not going to be in the distance for 30 seconds, and that's the end of him. He's going to obviously play some sort of bigger role in this.
Right.
And
absolutely.
I wonder if they're then going to. They could have funny scenes where they go and try and sell the show at the to the TV executives. They keep talking about, what were they talking about last week? HGTV, is that a thing?
Yeah, Home and Garden TV. That's like where these type of shows
end up
are on in America.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Hey, before we go, two things. Number one, you got to have a shout out about your podcast. Tell me what it is. When is it on?
It's called Radio Labyrinth. We're on all the podcatchers and we're on YouTube. Check us out.
And what do you talk about?
All this kind of stuff. When we can get people to all watch the same show, which is difficult. I think we're going to be getting into Fargo.
Oh, wow.
Everybody seems to be into that. So
okay.
Do that. And we'll just, make TV and movie recommendations.
Okay. So it's general, interesting pop culture chat.
Yeah.
With these types of chat, it's much better for us when the show is week by week, isn't it? Because then we can kind of like, I mean, you've just started watching 3, but we can just talk about 2. Yeah, it's better that way, because when they put everything out, then everyone's like, I was thinking about doing it for this Squid Game reality TV version, but I think they've either put it all out or they've put lots of it out. I'll watch it at the weekend and see what I think about it.
A lot of people are saying they don't like it. That was one of the things that I recommended we all try and check out, but a lot of people are saying, I don't know, it's not as good as the show, and they feel like it takes away from the Squid Game show to have this reality show.
Have you watched it?
No, I haven't watched it. I watched the original Squid Games,
but
I haven't watched the new one, the reality show yet.
I'm the same as you. I'll give it a go and see what it's like.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see how I'll be back for the series 3. Episode 3 rather recap next Friday, which is the 1st of December. Do you know your schedule?
Yeah, I will have to work next Friday. So
what time will you be working?
I have to work at 7:30. So.
And what time will you? Yeah.
7 to 7:15ish or so I can do. Or we could try and do it during the day, but I may or may not be able to come on camera. It just depends on what's going on at work.
What time do you finish work?
4 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, I'll be out of action at that point.
Yeah, 9 p.m. for you.
Could you do? Would it be too much to do it at 6:45 a.m.?
I'm fine with that if you want to.
Just because that would be 11:45 a.m. for me. I have to leave that day because I've got a doctor's appointment at 1. I would need to leave by. We could do like 20 minutes. Why don't we say we'll do 6:45 Eastern and 11:45 your time.
Okay.
Or my time rather, and we'll both have watched 3 by then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And we'll encourage the team. If anyone else has watched it, we can maybe bring someone else on. But I liked our chat. It was good. And when you're watching it, you're the same as me. Think about I'm writing down what's my little notes and what are my small things and my big things.
Yeah, we'll do.
Okay, cool. All right. How's the weather in Atlanta? Does it get cold and bitter down there?
It does get cold, and it's been kind of cloudy and rainy last couple of days.
It was really turning in New York at the weekend. I could just feel that winter freeze coming in. Not yet, but just getting there. So, yeah. All right. Okay, cool. Let's speak next week.
All right.
All right. Have a good week. Okay. Bye. Very good. I hope someone's taking a screenshot of that. Do that one more time for me so I could just grab it. You've already done it, so. The very niche Cursed Episode 2 tribute. You can have the footage. All right. Speak to you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.